and P. Diddy matching outfits picture goes viral after Meek Mill comes up in this lawsuit, right? You got this lawsuit where this dude is suing P. Diddy and people been going through it. He brought, I believe, a Young Miami name came up in it, like about her cousin, doing some things.
This a lot.
Diddy seems to be losing his cool as Meek Mill struggles under growing pressure. Meek has been revealing private details of their business dealings, sparking a wave of controversy and putting their relationship in the spotlight.
If a bear shit in the woods, does it make a smell? Yeah, I could kind of see it. I could see it. And it's like before the internet and all that shit existed. You see what I'm saying? When you're in the industry and all that, you be hearing shit about certain people. You know what I mean? I've been heard shit about this dude. You know what I mean? Long time ago. Long time ago. So the fact that this is all coming, it's almost surprising that he was able to maneuver this long, to be honest. You know what I mean? I was there at City College and all that with the basketball game when people died. A girl that I know passed away. Rest in peace, Sonia Williams. And I didn't think he was going to be able to bounce back from that. I was like, oh, this nigga's done. He's done. And he just laid low for a little while. Came back stronger than ever after that. It was crazy.
R.I.P. to her, man. I had no idea that you knew someone that got killed in that situation, man.
Yeah, my man Sonny's sister, man. She went to school with us in New Rochelle. Matter of fact, she was Father MC's girlfriend at the time.
Yeah, I know I always interview, Gene Deal, and he's very adamant that, Diddy is the reason why, all them people got killed, but from your point of view, do you blame Diddy?
Yes, I blame greed on it. You know what I mean? I feel like they didn't want a bunch of people to get in for free, so they closed the doors in a certain way. The doors, I think, had to be pushed out or something like that, and they pulled them back in towards it. So like people got crushed against the doors trying to get in this little space, and you know what I mean? At that point, when you saw shit was crazy, y'all should have just said F the money and just let motherfuckers in. But no, y'all motherfuckers, wait, you know what I mean? Y'all want to squeeze the quarter to the eagle screen. You know what I mean? And that's that bullshit.
You personally, do you think Diddy can bounce back from what he's going through right now?
I mean, I feel like in the black community, it's probably a wrap, just for the simple fact that motherfuckers are saying no Diddy. Like, the fact that you are like a tagline, like people have replaced pause and no homo and all that with no Diddy. I really don't see how you can come back from that in the black community. Now, in the white community, he might come back from, you see what I'm saying? Like, they still love, Roman Polanski and all the who's the dude that was like the pedophile? He was a movie director. I think it's Roman Polanski, if I'm not mistaken. There was this film director who was with a 13-year-old girls and shit like that. And I don't know, somebody died and all that. And he went to another country, but they still with this dude, like in Hollywood and shit. Like, you know what I mean? And he's a fucking exile murderer type of dude. Like, you know what I mean? And they still, I think they honored him at something. You know what I mean? So I think Puffy is their guy. So they might still allow him to make money in certain circles or whatever the case may be. But as far as us, I think he's always going to be the butt of a joke. You know, like I saw, like everything that's like they're putting it on him now. Like I saw a video and a dude had like dry shaving cream or something on the side of his face, and the nigga said, "You look like you just came from a Diddy party." Like, how do you bounce back off of that? Like, I don't think you can. Like, you know what I mean? But if he does, and I don't see how, but we live in a crazy world. Some people say he might, if he was just to come out and be like, you know what, I am gay and da-da-da-da-da, that might be one of his saving graces, because now that community will embrace him and bring him in. You know what I mean? We understand.
It's clear that Diddy is feeling the heat. As the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire, and the growing tension between them can't be ignored. It seems like there are deeper issues brewing beneath the surface.
So, right, you know, Little Rod, he alleges that, you know, Diddy, he'll put his hands on him, but, you know, when he'll put his hands on him, he'll disguise it as horseplay. But he felt like Diddy was trying to groom him, in a sense.
Well, with the horseplay situation, I used to see him do that with certain women. You understand? When he was mad, upset, or he was too old for this, but he would do that play fighting shit. You understand? So I can imagine him play fighting with Lil Rod, because, you know, a lot of people could say what they want to say about Diddy. You know, he got a knuckle game. He will fight you. You know what I'm saying? You his size, you understand something like that? Around your size, something like that, he would fight you. He had a knuckle game. He wasn't that dude that, like, people try to say he was some old scared ass nigga. Nah, he would fight you. You understand? So I could see with a person like Lil Rod, he probably was roughing him up, grabbing him, roping him, you know what I'm saying? Acting like he playing with him, but he actually want him to do what he want him to do. So, like I said before, that shit he did in the past. So when I read it from Lil Rod, I see he's doing the same shit he's doing in the future.
So he was doing this with females too back then when you was around.
Right. That's how him and Kim got into the fight. And he, you know, play fighting. He used to play fight with the pillows, like the pillow fight, that dumb shit like that. You know, that's kid shit to me. But if that's the way they do, that's the way they do. You understand? He used to do it with Kim all the time.
So the horseplay was his way of grooming you, in a sense.
Well, that grooming, that's some new shit. You know what I'm saying? We didn't call it grooming back then. That his horseplay was a way of letting you know I could really hurt you if I wanted to. You get it? I could really hurt you. And that's what that kid probably felt. Yo, why he doing me like that? Oh, he just playing with you. No, he was letting you know, if I turn this up, I could really hurt you.
And that was his way of trying to get you to be submissive to him.
Right. He's letting you know. He's putting into your mind. Listen here, bro. He's trying to put in his mind, we're playing now. But if I really want to turn this stuff on you, it's on. You ain't got no wins. So that kid is feeling, yo, listen here. In his mind, if you read the documents, in his mind, he was so scared that when he went to other people in the camp and said, why did he treat me? Why did he doing this and doing that? They said, oh, he just playing with you because he loved you. He liked you. He was trying to put that, instill that fear in you that he had in you. And he won.
Yeah, that does make sense, man. And me looking at this lawsuit, he's also, you know, alleging that he met Cuban Gooding Jr. through Diddy on Diddy Yacht. And it even got to a point where he started touching him on his, upper inner thigh near his groin, according to him.
Did you see the picture?
Nah, I didn't get to see it, but
Oh my God. Yo, listen to me, man. I don't know if it was what they call it when you take two pictures and they put it together, stuff like that. They what they call it when they put the pictures together and it don't belong together, but they put it together. Whatever.
Side by side.
Yeah, whatever they call that. Cuban Gooden Jr. was so close to that man. I would thought that was his lady. That's how close he was to him. And then his hands all on his leg and everything. It was crazy, bro. I don't even believe that. So when you see Cuban Gooden fighting a case here in New York, when he said the girl was saying that he was groping her and everything like that, I'm glad they didn't show that picture at his trial. Because he would have been guilty. That's how close he was to that kid, man.
So you seeing on pictures, do you believe his claims?
Yeah, I believe his claims. If somebody put something in Cuban Gooden Jr. ear that this was fresh meat, or see can you break him, or see can you do something? Because don't no other man be that close to no other man, for that reason. Come on, bro.
Rumors about Diddy's sexuality have been flooding the internet, with new allegations popping up one after another. Each fresh story only adds more fuel to the fire, keeping the speculation alive and swirling.
Wrote a couple records. Yeah, it was a couple records. I don't really remember the exact records though.
How did they come about though? Him reaching out to you for you to write for him?
I did that early in my career when I first signed with Rockefeller. It was a little bidding war. I got the call from Puff, and me, him, and Nas was going to do a record together. And I wound up staying at the studio doing a couple records.
That's news to me, man. So he was trying to sign you to Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's news right there, yo.
Yeah, I could have been that Bad Boy. I could have been Rough Riders. Couple spots.
Why didn't you sign a Bad Boy?
I was already committed to Rockefeller. I ain't signed no contract yet, but it was already done.
When you look back in hindsight, do you regret it?
Being signed to Rockefeller?
Yeah.
Hell no. No, I don't regret that at all.
So when you look back at your career, knowing that you could have been a Bad Boy or Rough Riders, you still go back. You would still sign.
You listen to that question you just asked me. Bad Boy or Rough Riders? Maybe Rough Riders. But right now, in hindsight, looking at things, nah.
Right.
Nah. Nah.
I feel you, man. I feel you. But I gotta ask you, man. I gotta ask you this. How you feel about the situation Diddy going through right now?
Man. It's wild. You know, y'all got that game pause. They stopped saying pause and now it's no Diddy. That's a bad joint. That's bad. Man, no Diddy.
Have you ever been to his parties?
Not one. Not one. Not one. Ever.
Yo, have you heard about him though?
Yeah. You didn't hear about them parties? Nah. That wasn't for me. No, sir.
What you hear about him?
Same thing everybody else heard about him.
Meek Mill spoke out about the raid, saying Diddy fled town and left his kids behind with specific instructions. According to Meek, Diddy claimed it was to toughen them up by having them witness the raid. But let's be honest, this wasn't about teaching life lessons. It looks more like a strategic move to make a quick getaway, knowing that bringing his kids along would draw too much attention.
Hear about the latest news with Homeland Security about how they removed a whole lot of electronics from Diddy house? You heard about that?
Bruh, they rich. They're gonna have a lot of electronics. They're gonna have a lot of laptops. They're gonna have a lot of computer stuff around there. A lot of times, people gotta be smart. You cannot hide anything on no laptop. So if they was that dumb to put any videos or anything on any of those type of electronics, you understand? It's gonna come to the forefront. Now, what they're looking for, because it was going on the premises of sex trafficking, they're looking for pictures of girls that may appear to be underage in a sexual context. Like they in a sexual act. That's what they're looking for. So now they're going to go through all those devices. If somebody got any kind of weird fetishes that they got little kids or little girls or something like that in any kind of pictures or any kind of photos that they took out of there, then unless that individual is in the picture, who do you charge? Because the houses wasn't in his name. They was in companies' names that they could say all people had all kinds of access to them. Unless somebody testify that that's Diddy's room, nobody goes in that room but him. You understand what I'm saying? That's when they get the help to come in, the maid to come in. You understand? Or the people who work there, yo, where's Mr. Combs' room? Oh, that's Mr. Combs' room. You understand what I'm saying? That's Mr. Combs' room. He only want anybody allowed in that room. Yo, not unless Mr. Combs is there. They get those people to testify. But when they got a big ass mansion like that belongs to studios or Bad Boy Films and his daughter and stuff like that, they charge the person who the house is in their name. Would he be the type of person to let his daughters know take those type of crimes? We'll see.
Yeah, that would be messed up if he let his kids take the charges. But they also reporting that, Homeland Security, when they raided Diddy, they was looking for the footage that Diddy was using to blackmail celebrities. How do you feel about that?
Well, you got to look at this. They looking for anything. It's not just Lil Rob lawsuit, the blackmail stuff. Like, they can't do that. They said that it was they went in there on the premises that it was for sex trafficking and underage minors in there. So now, if everything is being taped and he's taping people doing this and they find it in their house, they got to bring the tapes back to him. They got to make sure that he's the one walking around with the video camera. If he's, you understand what I'm saying? They got to prove that. And then they got to have people to come in and say that he did that. They saw him with the video camera, like Lil Rob said. He used to tape him on the phone and all that stuff like that. Maybe he had burnouts or something like that. We don't know. But when they do that raid, they ain't just looking for pictures. Whatever they find drugs, it goes to the DEA case. If they went down in the wine cellar and they found cases of Sircock with cocaine in it, coca in it, they're gonna get that to the DEA. They found a lot of guns and stuff like that, that's ATF. A lot of different agencies can get involved. Just on going on the sex trafficking case, it's whatever they find in there, bro. They're not just gonna limit themselves to that one thing once they got the search warrant to go in.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. How you feel about the people that feel the type of way that, Diddy, he wasn't there when his kids got arrested? I think 50, he even, made a comment about it saying that, Diddy, he got his kids in the bullshit now.
I believe he was a coward. There's no way he should have let that happen to his kids. I believe he knew what was going down, and he probably thought they wasn't going to do that to the kids, but they did. They wanted to be gangsters. Lil Combs did, so now you're a gangster.
So you feel like Diddy, he already got a heads up, and that's the reason why he was...
Diddy has always been tough in business, personal relationships, and his private dealings. But lately, a more ruthless and manipulative side has surfaced, leading many to wonder what his true motives really are.
First and foremost, I just want to say, I know a lot of people want to hear these stories and everything like that, because this is stuff that happened back in the day. And then maybe that if they knew there was going to ever be a YouTube, or they knew there was going to ever be social media, a lot of the stuff probably wouldn't have got played out like it did. But things happen, and these are just stories from the past. I would like to use that as, what you call that, just to clear the facts up what's going on. But it all started, we was in Atlanta. And this story starts when I'm with Puff, and he's in exotic bookstores, and he's doing shopping, right? He's shopping, getting his stuff and everything like that. So, this is the first time I was ever in an exotic bookstore with Puff. So, I'm giving him his space. He's taking things off the shelves and stuff like that, because they gave him a brown paper bag. When they gave him a brown paper bag, he was just putting stuff in there. So I said, damn, he got to go put it on the counter and, show everybody what he's getting. So as he going, I'm just looking at the places where he picking stuff from. So there's one part he picked up some things from up here on my left side. And then he picked like quite a few of them down. I'm like, okay. He put them in the bag. So when I went by there and I looked up there and it said butt plugs. And I was like, hey, yo, I was messing with him. Because people don't understand, we was like friends. He was a part of the same gang. So I'm still gonna tease him. I'm still gonna mess with him and everything like that. I could do that. It wasn't just no security thing. So I say, yo, what are you getting this for? And it said butt plugs. And he was like, yo, can I do my shopping by myself? I said, yeah, you could do it by yourself, brother. And he started walking and everything like that. When he got to, I just waited at the counter. So when he got to the counter, he didn't even have to show the guy nothing. He just gave the guy a wad of money. I mean, like he gave the guy a stack, something like this. And Puff wasn't the dude that carried no 20s and no 50s and nothing like that. And I mean, like he just said, boom. And we walked out the store. So we had to leave Atlanta and go to North Carolina for a show. You understand? And it was him, this rapper, Sarah, and this other girl. We all got on a G5 jet, and we flew to G4 jet, and we flew to North Carolina. So later on that, I think that afternoon, same day, this rapper and him, they all in the room together. It's Sarah, the girl, Puff, and this dude, this rapper. So I'm hearing at the door and stuff like that, like, yeah, so then Next thing you know, somebody rang the doorbell. We had the presidential suite where we was at. So I opened the door and the dude said, yo, I'm here for my cousin. I said, who your cousin? And he said, Ja Rule. I said, well, he busy right now. He said, he busy doing what? I said, he with Puff. They're in the room, they busy, they don't want to be bothered. He said, well, I'm going in there. I said, bruh, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothering them. And he was like, yo, I don't care, man. I'm going in there. That bull like that. I said, yo, bruh, Jesus Christ had to come down here and take the air out of my body before you get in that room right there. Watch. He tried to bum rush me. I grabbed him and threw him against the piano. When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked. And so then Ja was like, yo, what's going on? Yo, G, that's my cousin. He know me well, you know, and Puff was like, yo, G, what happened? I said, he tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room. And he was like, he just looked, Puff looked at Ja. He said, yo, Ja said, you ain't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on. So I was like, oh, he said it was a lot of freaking going on. So that was basically that story, man. You know what I'm saying? They went back in the room. Dude felt a certain kind of way and he left out. So I seen them at the concert the next day and they tried to, you know, form up against me. But my man Frank was like, I told my man Frank, I was like, yo, Frank, put yourself in that position. Somebody trying to get in the room and Ja told you don't let nobody get in the room. What would you do? Now y'all can do whatever y'all want to do, man. But you know I ain't taking no losses. He said, yo, you good, and that was it. Bro, when Ja said, you don't want to come up in there, a lot of freaky stuff is going on. You got to use your mind. What they was doing with those butt plugs.
There's more to the drama than just Meek Mill. Maze is also under scrutiny, especially with rumors about his sexuality making headlines. This is pulling him deeper into the spotlight, adding to the already tense situation.
If you can, right, because he got the show with Cam, and a lot of people, they don't know about the history between Mace and Diddy. Let the people know how Diddy did him dirty, if you don't mind.
From what I know, I think that Diddy wasn't teaching Mace the business. You understand? He was using Mace as other artists to write rhymes on other people, write songs on other people's albums, on his album, and taking their talents and stealing their publishing on different albums and different records. Prime example, Mace wrote that Bad Boy joint. I ain't even see him at the premiere because I believe Diddy owned most of the publishing on that, which ended up being a big record. Therefore, went over to movies. I think Mace was upset the fact that when he learned the business, he saw how Diddy had robbed him. He had took the glory for the albums, the music, and all the records that he had did. And he got pennies for it. You understand? 8,000 here, 10,000 there. You understand? When the record go platinum, Diddy's getting 200,000-300,000 and only gave him pennies for writing a song, getting points on publishing that he didn't even deserve. So Mace learning the business and knowing the business, it led him to be upset. Diddy was teaching him wrong. Like Diddy was teaching him not to even speak to people, brother. You understand what I'm saying? Mace used to come up in there, yo, what's up? How you doing? He had that Harlem smile. You know what I mean? Like he happy, he's shining. Cause you know, he had a lot of jewels that the other artists didn't have. He used to come up in the studios, he used to come places fly. Did he tell him, yo, you ain't gonna never be famous because you always speaking to people. Let them speak to you. I seen Mace stop speaking to people. When I told him, man, don't listen to that nigga with that old dumb shit. Be you. But he found out after Big died and Puff left his ass out in California, he knew only Puff was for self. So Mace and them didn't have what these kids have now with the internet, with the YouTubes, to learn the business themselves or listen to somebody teach them the business and stuff to watch out for. It was word of mouth or somebody sitting you down or you hiring a lawyer back then to teach you what you're supposed to know by representing you. So Mace has every right to be upset with Diddy because Diddy really stole his legacy in the music. See, what you got to understand this is that a lot of those kids learned the business after they signed their contracts. They learned the business after they was in the business for 3 or 4 years. So now, when they learned the business and they was doing, sitting right there, writing a whole record, a whole song, right? And Diddy was like, yeah. Here, take this, take that. Give them 10,000 for that one song that they wrote. And that song goes platinum 2 or 3 times. And he get the 25% for being the writer on that because they wrote the song and gave it to him. And he's on as the publisher, as the writer. You understand what I'm saying? He getting a percentage of the writing that was done, and all he gave was 10,000. They learned and they learned later in the business that they was do that publishing. He shouldn't have got the percentage that he got on there because he gave them 10,000, 5,000, 8,000 for writing. So now they learned the business late. And when they learned the business, they seen how wrong that he was doing them. Even though the music people want you to say, well, we're taking a chance, we're taking a thing. Yo, listen to me, man. You wouldn't be there if you think that you wasn't talented and they could sell records off you and using your talents. They've seen enough people that come through. So you writing all those hits and you not getting the money from them. How many years Mace didn't get the money from Bad Boy that they used on Will Smith and them Bad Boys? I went to the premiere with Puff. Mace wasn't even there.
Mace has a lot of history with Diddy, and it's not pretty. According to insiders, Diddy never taught Mace the business side of things. Instead,
Just that, Diddy told him personally that he had sex with Usher. And when you look at the lawsuit, even though they got Usher's name redacted, you could tell who it is because they describe him as the guy that performed at the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, I mean, we all know who that is, but how you feel about that, man?
Well, I mentioned that earlier, that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business. right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bro, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in the mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp. Y'all put it together.
And what you mean by Diddy count?
Remember? He was on one of the talk shows. The white guy with the curly hair. What's his name? The white guy with the curly hair. And he said, yo, would you send your son to Diddy camp? And Usher said, no. Ask him why he won't send him to Diddy camp. But yet and still you praise him.
Damn, man. And you said that, I know you can't go into detail, but you said that it was a situation where Diddy sent him to the hospital?
Let Usher explain that to you. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was...
He used Maze's talents to write songs for other artists, taking credit for the hits while leaving Maze with little to show for it.
Meek Mills. Well, he said a Philly rapper. You understand? And it was redacted in the paperwork to that because first of all, it had Meek Mills, it had Stevie J, they had redacted their names, and they had Usher, and they redacted their names and just said a performer of the Super Bowl and a Philly rapper. Everybody kind of knew back in the day that Meek Mills and Puff was a little too friendly. Anytime two rappers or two people in the industry come dressed up alike on more than one occasion, my man, listen here, man. My dudes in Philly, I got some real strong dudes in Philly. They don't play that shit. And they probably embarrassed for the fact to see that Meek Mills, one of the street guys that came out of there, got caught up in this Hollywood, whereas that he's dressing like Diddy, hugged up with Diddy. I think that Lil Rod know a lot of shit, but I know this. Two men dressing alike, it's just like two men laying down. When they both get up, they both homos. And that's real talk, bruh. My man, you go to a party, dog, and the nigga got the same shirt you got on, I'm taking my shirt off. I'm walking around in a t-shirt. And then not to blow Meek Mills up out the water or anything like that. It was said that they checked his Google search and all the other shit, and he was searching for some online gay porn and all the other shit like that.
Oh, wow.
That shit is crazy, bro. But listen, those are what, you know, it's crazy that money, that lifestyle, and you trying to fit into something get you. These guys never set out to do all this shit. Meek Mills, when he got into the game, he didn't set out to be questioned about his manhood with Diddy.